Good morning, dear students. I'm Bharti Kathuria Sehgal from the SD Vidya School. Today we are going to start with a new topic from Chapter 4, Animal Kingdom, which is chordata. Chordata is a very important topic of this chapter. So let's begin with it. In this topic, we'll be studying about the general classification of chordates, and then we'll also discuss about the classification in detail. The word chordata has been derived from chorde, which means string, or cord, and eta means bearing. So chordata are the animals which would mean they have a string or cord-like structure, which is the notochord. There are almost 64,832 species of chordata on record, out of which 32,120 are fish, 6,771 amphibians, 9,320 reptiles, 9,026 birds, 5,750 mammals. The smallest of them is a 10 millimeter Philippine godi, while the largest animal being 35-meter blue whale. General characteristics of chordates. Chordates may be found in water, land, or maybe aerial. All of them are free living. There is no parasitic animal. Bilaterally symmetrical. They have a post-anal tail. Now understand the meaning of post-anal tail. Post-anal tail is the posterior extension of the body that extends beyond the animal's anus. They have an exoskeleton. They're triploblastic. They have true coelom. They have a cartilaginous or bony endoskeleton also. They have pharyngeal gill slits at some stage. The gill slits may or may not be functional. Now, what are these pharyngeal gill slits? The pharyngeal gill slits, these are the openings which are repeated along the pharynx and act as filter feeding organs in the deuterosomes. They have a complete digestive system with mouth and anus, both openings. They have a closed vascular system. They have an excretory system composed of protonephridia, metanephric kidneys, the dorsal and tubular nerve cord. Now understand that they have a nerve cord, although non-chordates also possess a nerve cord. But in the non-chordates, the nerve cord is ventral, solid and double. But in the case of chordates, the nerve cord is dorsal, tubular and hollow. They are unisexual. Now fundamental chordate characteristics. They have a dorsal, hollow or tubular nerve cord. They have longitudinally supporting rod-like notochord, and they have pharyngeal gill slits. Let's discuss them one by one in detail. Dorsal hollow nerve cord. So that would mean that the CNS, which stands for central nervous system. The central nervous system in human beings is comprised of brain and spinal cord, which is present dorsally. They have a longitudinal hollow nerve tube above notochord. Now notochord. Notochord is elongated, it is rod-like, it is flexible and it is present beneath the nerve cord. It is the prime feature of chordates. Pharyngeal gill slits. They are present at some stage. They are paired lateral gill slits. The pharyngeal wall of gut behind the mouth. Protochordates. In the protochordates, these pharyngeal gill slits are present throughout the life. But in the higher vertebrates, they disappear or are modified. Now that's the chordata characteristics in the form of a figure. Now here you can see a notochord, which is present as the characteristic feature of the chordates. They have a dorsal hollow nerve cord, post-anal tail, and the pharyngeal gill slits. As you can see here, there are slits along the pharynx. These are called as the pharyngeal gill slits. Classification in chordates. The chordates are classified on the basis of presence of notochord or vertebral column and the presence or absence of cranium. The first group is acrania, which is called protochordata. All protochordates are marine. They are the primitive chordates. They lack head. That's why we call them as acrania. They are divided into two subphylum, Urochordata and Cephalochordata. Urochordata, or what we call as tunicata. They are called as tunicata because the body is covered with a cellulose-like case. The adults have a sac-like body. They are sessile, fixed body, and cased in protective tunic. That's what I told you. That's why they are called as tunicata. They are divided into three classes. Next is subphylum Cephalochordata. Notochord and nerve cord are present throughout the life along the entire length of the body. They have a class Leptocardi, which have a fish-like body, segmented with distinct myotomes and numerous gill slits. They have one family, 2 genera and 30 species. Next group is Craniata, or what we call as Euchordata. They may be aquatic or terrestrial. They have a distinct head. They have a vertebral column, jaws. The brain is protected by skull or cranium. Next is subphylum Vertebrata. In Vertebrata, the notochord is replaced by vertebral column. So what we used to call as reed ki haddi, the vertebral column, has different vertebrae and the entire column is called as vertebral column. The body is divisible into head, neck, trunk and tail. So although we do not have a tail, but we do have a tailbone. The largest subphylum under Vertebrata has 46,500 species. There are two divisions under Vertebrata, Agnatha and Gnathostomata. So this is the figure which is given in your NCERT textbooks. So just look at it very carefully. So Vertebrata has been divided into two major groups, Agnatha, which stands for lax jaw. It has one class, Cyclostomata. Gnathostomata are the ones which bear jaw. They have been further divided into Pisces and Tetrapoda. Under Pisces, we'll be studying class Chondrichthyes and Osteichthyes. Under Tetrapoda are included the animals which bear limbs. So we have the classes Amphibia, Reptilia, Aves and Mammalia under Tetrapoda. Now let's study about Agnatha. Agnatha are the jawless primitive fish. They do not have true jaws. They have paired limbs. There are three classes under this. Ostracodermi is the extinct order, which are primitive and heavily armored. They were the first vertebrates. Second class is Cyclostomata, which is eel-shaped, without scales, jaws and lateral fins. Mouth is round and suctorial. Next is division Gnathostomata. Gnathostomata possess true jaw. They have paired limbs. Under this, we'll be studying the two superclasses Pisces and Tetrapoda. Class Pisces have the characteristic features of having scaly skin. So they have these scales on their skin that you can see in the fish, which is their characteristic feature. They have gills for breathing. They have paired fins. They have three classes. The class Placodermi is the primitive one, which includes the jawed fishes with bony heads. Next is class Chondrichthyes. Class Chondrichthyes include the cartilaginous fish. They have placoid scales. Placoid scales are the hard scales which are present on the surface of the skin. Gill slits are not covered with operculum. They have pelvic claspers in males. Class Osteichthyes includes the fish which have a bony endoskeleton. The scales are cycloid or ctenoid. The gill slits is covered with operculum, which is a covering of the gill slits. In chondrichthyes, this operculum is absent. The scales are placoid. The endoskeleton is made up of cartilage. And in case of osteichthyes, the males are without claspers, while in the case of chondrichthyes, the males have claspers. Now let's come over to tetrapoda. Tetrapoda are generally the land vertebrates. They have two pairs of pentadactyl. Pentadactyl stands for 5 digits in the limbs. They have a conified skin and breathe through lungs. They have 4 classes. Amphibia. They are aquatic in the larval stage. The larvae have gills, but the adults are terrestrial. The adults breathe through lungs. They have a moist skin, which is a characteristic feature of amphibians. The heart is 3-chambered. So here also you will be able to compare on the basis of the chambers in the heart and other characteristics the evolution in the phylum Vertebrata. Class Reptilia. They are terrestrial. They have a dry skin. They have horny scales on their skin. The heart is incompletely 4-chambered except for crocodile, which has a 4-chambered heart. They are cold-blooded. Cold-blooded means they do not maintain their body temperature. Respiration is by lungs. Next is class Aves, that we generally call as birds. They are the flying vertebrates. The body is covered with feathers. The forelimbs are modified into wings. Now please understand the difference between the function of feathers and the function of wings. Wings are the organs for flight, while feathers protect the body and maintain the temperature. There are no teeth in the beak. They have a 4-chambered heart. They are warm-blooded, can maintain their body temperature. The next is class Mammalia. Body is covered with hair. They have a glandular skin. The females have mammary glands for the production of milk. The heart is 4-chambered. They are also warm-blooded. That's all for today. Thank you, students. Keep sending me your queries. God bless you.